job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job.
So
I was just fired from my job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore.
They took our jobs!
They took your job!
They took your job!
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the N.G.L.A podcast, man. Listen, it's a lot going on out here, and obviously, devastating assassination of Charlie Kirk. It got everybody talking about it literally all week. Charlie Kirk, like I said in the thumbnail, man, his voice is bigger than ever right now. And unfortunately, under these circumstances, but I'm pretty sure that like this is what he would want, you know. And it's crazy, man. It's so crazy that it's really taken. It's crazy how it takes, you know, some that could be so negative and bad to wake up people and, you know, actually do some good, because this is changing people's lives in so many ways, man. But there's a lot going on surrounding this, and we're gonna break it down, man, because on the N.G.L.A podcast, man, I want to give you nothing but the truth, nothing but factual information and the best information that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So today we're gonna go over a few things. But before we start, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, because I truly, truly do appreciate it. Everybody that be tapping in with me, man. So before we start, man, I want to play this video, man. It's a powerful video. It just goes to show you the reason why I made the thumbnail that I made, saying that his voice is bigger than ever. And this is the reason why right here. Check this. This is dope, man. Check this out.
Erstes für Charlie Kirk, dein Widerstand und dein Einstand.
Damn. Yo, that's powerful, bro. That's so powerful, man. Like across the whole world, everybody was out and you know, celebrating Charlie Kirk, man. It's crazy, bro. But that was fire. It's fire, man. It's been a lot of information coming out in this whole situation, and that's what we gonna go over. And also, we also gonna go over this interesting video where this guy he breaks down a conversation that Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson had, and it kind of just opens your eyes to just the reality of this whole situation and just more. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know. You just don't know the information that's being put out about, you know, anything, because they lie so much. These politicians lie so much. These you know, these departments inside of the government, these people are just, it's been people, they lie so much and been doing so much wrong in America, that it's just so hard to trust any information that's being put out surrounding this information and any other information. You know, all the hoaxes against Donald Trump and just a lot. You know what I mean? So it's so hard for you to just believe every single thing and you want to, but we're gonna get into it though, man. But let's get into this. I wanted to play the rest of the video that that was from N.G.L.A. Check him out on YouTube. He made a video on all of these people that are being fired because of comments that they made about Charlie Kirk. And you know, they deserve it, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. Because, you know, it's one thing to disagree with somebody on y'all having different views, but it's a whole nother thing when you're literally happy, proud, cheering, celebrating somebody getting killed and got assassinated. And in the way he did. And then on top of that, in front of his family. So not only are you just hateful and you just got no type of, you know, heart whatsoever, you know, this man was assassinated in front of his family, and you got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people celebrating this. And, you know, but guess what, man? Everybody's gonna get we got the last laugh because y'all are getting fired. People are celebrating in the right way for you know, Charlie Kirk and what he represented all around the world, not just in America. So that's what's dope and powerful about that video. It just wasn't here in America. That's how you know the impact that he really had. And it's so crazy because from the outside looking in, because you know, I watch Charlie Kirk all the time. I watch a lot of these guys all the time. You know, I like seeing debates and things like that. So, but it just goes to show you how much of an impact that he had on people. And we really didn't even know to the degree of the impact that he had. And now, just playing that short little clip shows you how much of an impact that he had, man. But more importantly, man, just seeing a lot of people, you know, coming together for something positive, that was dope. Because normally what you see a lot, you know, you've been seeing a lot over this past 8 months is that, you know, all of these fake protests, all of these paid actors getting out there, burning shit up, demolishing, looting, all of these negative things that do nothing positive for America. You know what I'm saying? And it was good to see people actually come together, man. But, you know, I don't wish negative on nobody, man. It's unfortunate that these people, you know, are going to lose their job, and it's probably more than likely going to be a little hard for them to get another job because this is going to follow them, you know, unfortunately. And listen, bro, people got to be more smart, man. The internet, bro, this is forever, bro. You could post something, you delete it, and you can get rid of it. But when you post something, when somebody posts a video, and you got so many people out here trying to create content, and like myself, that are going to clip that shit immediately and put it out there. So it's never really going to be gone. So come on, man. It's not even that deep, man. But you deserve it. It just is what it is, man. But let's get into this video, man. And unfortunately, laugh at a few people who are just, honestly, bro, just a disgrace. Shit that these people been saying is out of control, bro, for real.
More. And I'm really not with cancel culture, but when we have shit like this going on, this right here, this person is threatening Charlie Kirk's wife and calling for her to be assassinated just like Charlie was and have their kids taken and put into the foster care system. And when it comes to disgusting shit like this, I'm 100% ready to stand on business, and so is my homeboy in that organization that he works with. So if you feel inclined, you see something that makes your skin crawl, you see somebody that you think is dangerous, go ahead and just hit that QR code, give them the information. It'll all be secure and anonymous, and they'll take it from there.
Libs of TikTok has become a steady stream of calling out those who are celebrating the death of the conservative activist, from a DA in Montana to college professors, Democratic candidates, and lots of teachers.
The guy who made a living spewing evil, hate-filled rhetoric died from getting shot right in the voice box. I might be 1% less atheist today.
What a shit take, bro. But
I might be 1% less atheist. Yo, these people, you can't make it up, bro. You can't make it up. And then he said, yo, I just don't understand why people keep saying that. They keep saying that Charlie Kirk was spewing hate, racism. He's a white, I believe Jasmine Crockett called him a white supremacist. Like, I just don't understand. I never seen anything that he posted. I seen plenty of his debates. I seen him debate black people about black issues, and I have yet to see any video where it was hateful, or any of that, like racist. Like, bro, I never seen any of it. So people have been, and the thing is, the reason why people even feel this way is because of the left, bro. Because of all of these Democrats who have been manipulating the people for all of these years. And it's just what it is, bro. These people are just not good people, bro. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. Got a little glitch. I have a little glitch going on. See if we can get back. Okay, I think we good. Let me see. Let me go back. All right, we back. We back on. But yeah, man. So they keep saying this. They keep saying that he's spewing hate and that he uh, is a white supremacist. All of this negative shit. But I've yet to see anything that makes that argument right at all. Is these people are just weak-minded people, easily manipulated, easily programmed, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact. They don't stand for nothing. Anybody. My thing is this: anybody who is cool with somebody being assassinated just off of their political views and how they feel about basically he was a tradition. He believes in traditional values. That's what Charlie Kirk believed in. Believed that he was a Christian, and I'm not even a Christian. I'm not a Christian. You know what I mean? But even though might not have the same religious values, he stood on the truth, his truth. And at the end of the day, he debated people and gave people that were nothing like him an opportunity to speak on how they felt about political issues, the world in general, black issues and things like that. And all he did was hold people accountable. That was it. That was it. And he stood on his own values. And he never criticized somebody for feeling the way they felt about whatever it was that they believed in. You know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is that it's just, people just hate the truth, bro. They're saying the truth hurts. And that's just really what it is. The truth hurts. Black people hate hearing the fact that you got a white man telling you that you have a victim mindset. Now, I'm a black man telling you that most black people in 2025 have a victim mindset. It's just what it is. It's a fact. You know what I mean? We have the lowest educational rates. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't take school serious. We don't take education serious. You know what I mean? Black people are committing the most murders. So my whole thing is when somebody, no matter what color they are speaking the truth, bro, just open your eyes to what they're saying. People always we're quick to criticize the messenger instead of the message. And that just goes for a lot of these people. And My whole thing is, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a great example. A great example of this. Go back and watch Candace Owens debating on the stage with what was that? Mike the Rapper. I think his name is from Atlanta. T.I., her, and there was a couple other people, right? They were on stage and they were having a conversation. And T.I. had asked Candace Owens, let me know when there was a point in America where America was great. Tell me when that was, right? So she was trying to explain her situation, but the crowd kept cutting her off, this and the third. So, I don't know why. I think I know his name Mike, but he a rapper. I think it's Mike the Rapper or whatever. So basically he called out the crowd. Like basically like, yo, shut the fuck up. Let the woman talk. You know, you might, even if you don't agree, you know what I'm saying? Let her say what she got to say type of thing. And then he went into basically because she had said it, like, that's what I was going to say. And then, you know, he tried to like play her a little bit like, well, you didn't, if you was going to say it, you should have said it, but even though they was cutting her off. But when he said basically because she said she was going to say it, and I've heard her talk about these things in the past, so I'm pretty sure she was, you know, she wasn't lying about it. But anyway, everything that Mike said, she was going to say, but everybody showed him respect and shitted on her because she was a black conservative who holds black people accountable. They're mad at her. They're mad at her. We don't like you. You're a sellout. You're a coon. You're this. You're that. Right? Soon as he said it, right? Because he listen, he not a liberal, bro. Like, he's a conservative, dog. He wants to make money. He, you know, save on his taxes, all of these different things. You know what I'm saying? But he does represent the black culture, and you know, he talks about like all the issues that black people go through in the black community. But what he said, everybody was attentive, listening to, because he said it. If she would have said the exact same words that he said, they all would have been like, boo, anybody trying to hear that shit? They'd have been trying to cut her off and disrespect her. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't like. You know what I mean? And we see it all the time, bro. We see it all the time, bro. Somebody, depending on who it is and the influence that they have in a certain community, if they say the same message that Donald Trump said, people, and oh, good one. And I played this on one of my previous shows. I think it was James Klug. I might be wrong though, but he went around. Long story short, he went around telling people that Kamala Harris has this policy, but it really was Donald Trump's policy, right? So he was going around asking everybody, how do they feel about this policy that Kamala put in place, or something like that. I think it was a policy though, and everybody was like, they liked it, they loved it, it was all, you know what I mean? And he fooled them. You know what I mean? This goes to show you the psychological programming that people have. He literally said a policy that Donald Trump had, because most of these people aren't in tune with what's going on. They just don't like Donald Trump because the news told them to, and because other black influencers support the Democratic Party, right? Soon as he told everybody that actually that was Donald Trump's policy. I forget really if it was a policy, I forget what it was. When he said that, then everybody else, now they looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show you that people don't truly know why they dislike a person. Most of these people don't know why they don't like Charlie Kirk. All they know is that he believes in God. He talks about holding people accountable. He talks about a man being a man and a woman being a woman. And they don't like that. That's all it boils down to. You know what I mean? And my bad, I know I'm going on a little rant, but that shit just like makes me mad, because it's people like this dude right here who is just bad for the culture, bad for the people, because he's an emotional man, and that's just all it boils down to. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man.
You know what? Charlie Kirk would be happy that you got even a little bit saved, because he wasn't a racist and he didn't hate anybody. He was just a realist, and he brought statistics. You people are allergic to things like statistics and facts and truth. But don't worry, you guys. He got fired. Yeah, you don't have a job anymore. Enjoy that unemployment line. Make sure to pick yourself up some EBT. You fucking nerd.
A realtor posted, "The world is a better place with less Trump supporters, period."
That's wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, the loving, kind, and tolerant left, full of empathy, compassion, and all of that gooey goodness.
He was swiftly fired from not one, but 2 jobs.
Two
Fox
jobs!
of Fox Homes teams writing, "Today, we ended a team member's affiliation with our team. We condemn political violence. We expect everyone who markets under our brand to treat all people with dignity and to serve every client equally, regardless of political views."
Based.
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead.
Yo,
Finally,
just look at
finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep...
Like, just look at this. Like, bruh, my bad, bro. I keep cutting this shit, but bro. Bro, this is sad, bro. This is sad, bro. Like, notice that she said somebody grew a pair and killed somebody on the right. That's all they care about. This right and left shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, bro, this shit is bigger than us, bro. This is divide and conquer. They have figured out a way to manipulate the people enough to divide us. You know what I mean? From Republican and Democrat to trans and straight or homosexual and straight and this and that. That's all it's about is divide and conquer. Why they got the whole United States divided on these political issues and your political views. Meanwhile, they don't give 2 shits about political shit or who's Democrat and who's Republican. These motherfuckers is getting rich and wealthy, and all they see is green. They don't give a fuck if you black, orange, a monkey, or a fucking banana peel, nigga. If it's about business with them, and they want us worried about, what Diddy doing in the Diddy case and Epstein. They want us caring about dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, motherfuckers struggling, broke, and they, passing laws and giving our money away to, other countries. It's wild, bro.
this up, please?
Well, yeah, that
Fucking
cow-cunted hag got fired too, and she damn well deserved it. I'm having fun. This is so much fun.
Hey guys, I haven't made videos like this, but I just got let go from the University of Florida as an employee.
You don't say! Oh, that's so tragic. Well, it seems like you're probably going to need to find yourself a nice little side hustle, maybe do some DoorDash or some Uber Eats so you can afford your baby oil and hentai, you fucking dork. And then there's this trans, I don't even know, person that had her dream.
Oh, thank you, babe. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, it was a policy, a Trump policy that they said Kamala was going to pass or whatever the case may be. And bro, matter of fact, yep, right. This was during the campaign, and that's a fact. This was during the campaign, and they said that, and he manipulated the people. Bro, these people are fucking nuts, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. And you know what's funny too? You know what's not funny, but you know what's crazy too is that, instead of these Democrats like Jasmine Crockett, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and instead of them, condemning all of the goofy shit that's going on, they're gonna say, oh, well, it's Trump's rhetoric that's, causing this. Bro, I have never heard Trump. I've never heard Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, any of these, Candace Owens. I have never seen any of these people, say idiotic shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like wishing death on people that are Democrats. Literally the only thing I ever hear Donald Trump say about Democrats are they are radical lunatics. That's it. Other than that, I've never heard him say anything crazy. Like, where you like, oh, he bugging, or, wishing death on Democrats or anything. You know what I mean? He'll say if they're connected to some type of, fraud or anything like that, he'll say they need to be investigated, which is, what's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Listen, the Democratic Party are the ones who use lawfare against Donald Trump. And not just, one time. We talking about his whole first campaign, after his campaign, when they knew he was going to run again in 2024, like, bruh. And now that Donald Trump is back in, and people are looking into all of these, the Russia hoax and the Epstein and this and that, and now people like Letitia James and the chick from the Fed who got canned, looking into all of these people, Adam Schiff. Do you see that it's a lot of fraud going on, a lot of corruption, a lot of goofy shit? And they just mad because they're being exposed. And now this situation, unfortunately, how it happened is exposing how radical these people really are. So it just, when Trump says two things, when Trump said that it's going to make his voice bigger, he was telling the truth. When he says this, when he makes the comment that I was right, I was always right, he was telling the truth. Like when he called these people out and say that these niggas is radical left lunatics, he was right, bro. And this goes to prove it. This shows all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I literally seen the video. I was going to show it, but I don't know if he shows it in this. But I seen Anton Daniels post it on his page. A couple were trying to get some pictures printed out at Office Depot or something like that, and these people refused to print it. And you can look, as soon as you look at these people, you just, come on, they're Democrats and they're weirdos. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that all Democrats are weirdos. I'm just saying that, they created this image. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But you look at these people and you just know who they are. And they literally didn't print these people's pictures that they probably paid for, wanted to, get from Office Max that had nothing to do with them. And they told these people that they're not printing it because it's propaganda. What? You can't tell me what the fuck what I'm going to print. Bitch, print my shit. They better than me. But, this is how delusional these people are. They literally, and I think it had something to do with Charlie Kirk. They was doing something for like a visual or something, and they were getting, I guess, some type of photos or something. And because it was him, they didn't print it. And guess what? They were fired. So shout out to them for getting fired. Stupid.
He worked at DC Comics, and she was fired from her dream job. She was a writer on Red Hood. How lit would that be? And yes, you threw it away because you mocked the dead and you celebrated before his corpse was even cold. You disgusting piece of shit. Enjoy the EBT line and the fucking Dollar Tree, you peasant hoe. And I know that some of you might be sitting there thinking, JD, that's not nice. These people literally lost their jobs. Well, let me just tell you this. I don't care. Some of you might be saying Charlie wouldn't be laughing at these people. Charlie was a good person. I'm not. Bitch, I'm a felon. I'm a convict. I'm that person who, when somebody I don't like falls down some stairs, I'm going to laugh at them. But when it comes to people being violently politically assassinated for utilizing their First Amendment speech, I take that pretty seriously because that is a legitimate act of fascism. And I find it even more ironic that all of these people call him a fascist and a racist and a Nazi, but they applaud the real and actual fascist Nazi behavior when it comes down to it.
Okay, let me make sure I got this straight. Let me make sure that the messaging was crystal fucking clear to me. Y'all are...
Like, bro, look at her, bro. Like, look at this fucking... Yo, my God, bro. Like, come on, bro. You know what she stands for. Let's look at her. Ridiculous, bro.
So against Nazis.
She woke up
you'll acknowledge that we don't need to have them around anymore. And we're all in agreement that Nazis are bad, or at least we were a couple fucking years ago. But it's all, I hate Nazis.
Hold on, bro. I'm tired of this Nazi shit. Do they hold on. Real quick. I gotta see something. So look, right? Based on historical estimates, the Nazi and their collaborators systematically murdered approximately 17 million people. This includes the genocide of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. Hold on. As well as millions of others targeted for political, racial, or ideological reasons. Bruh, 17 million. Did Charlie Kirk kill 17 million people? Did Donald Trump kill 17 million people? They keep saying that these Republicans are Nazis. Are Nazis, bro. So when you have people like her, right, and her buddies who get out here and they really believe that Trump is a Nazi, who Nazis killed 17 million people, approximately, that's a lot of people. They're relating Nazis to Donald Trump and MAGA, people that support Donald Trump and voted for Donald Trump. They say that we support 17 million people being, genocided, murdered. Bruh, these people are fucking retarded, bro. They're literally retarded, bro. It's crazy, bro. And this breaks down to different types of people. All of these people, bro. This is what all legacy media, all of these Democrat politicians, they're relating Donald Trump and the MAGA and Republican Party to Nazis who literally killed millions of people. So when they use this, as a tool to say and do the shit that they're doing, come on, bro. This is how you know they're retarded. They're just retarded, bro. Easily manipulated. People are slaves to the Democratic Party, just like black people are slaves to the Democratic Party. All because they gave them welfare, gave them a couple dollars and some food stamps. They became slaves to it. Like, it's just what it is, bro. What it is, bro. It's crazy.
Until a Nazi catches what was fucking coming to him inevitably, and now you're crying. Y'all's fucking more.
Here's the problem, is that y'all moved the goalpost on what a Nazi is so far askew that it doesn't even mean anything anymore. Nazi now means somebody who doesn't agree with you on every single little fucking topic and or issue. That's and you fact. Change the issue 2 or 3 times a fucking week. Why would anybody side with you? The fact that you would call Charlie Kirk a Nazi is insane. He was a moderate, and you were about to see severe far-right people. Y'all just created them, not only with this assassination, but with this type of retarded rhetoric.
Morals don't go anywhere past optics. All you care about is looking like a good person. Oh, but I have them because I don't wish death on anyone. I am not above wishing death on anyone, and
clearly, because you're a terrible fucking person. Now, I'm not saying that there are people that I wish violent, horrific deaths upon. I don't think needs to die or be horrifically taken from their family is people who disagree with me politically. Because I'm not mentally stunted. I'm not a weird-ass blue-haired they-them with a fucking butthole piercing, you weird bitch.
I hope it comes swiftly for every single fucking Nazi. And yeah, call him what he is, a fucking Nazi.
Bro, you just know that she's ruined multiple dumbass dudes' lives. There were multiple dudes who ignored all the red flags, all the warning signs. They met her and they thought, oh my God, she's special. And then she just absolutely trashed their entire existence. Rest in peace, those dudes. They fell into a bad pH'd vagina and just wrecked their shit.
Nut the fuck up, you fucking pussy fart.
Okay, pussy fart's kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie, I dig the pussy fart thing, man. I often call people pecker queefs. Pussy fart's pretty good too.
Not a single one of you bitches have posted about the school shooting that happened at the...
You know what though? Here's the thing, is this is a leftist eating up other leftists. And I don't mind that. When these people go after each other for not virtue signaling hard enough, I'm good with it, bro. Like, tear each other to fucking shreds because normal people see that and you're making people not want to have anything to do with you or any of your cause of the week type movements, because they see that nothing's ever going to be enough for you until you're completely and totally in the realm of insanity. Goddamn, this bitch is probably giving so many pharmaceutical companies money for SSRIs that still clearly aren't working. I mean, how genuinely tore up and awful of a person do you have to be on the inside where it counts to make Hamas, Diddy, Hassan Piker look like he's actually a decent human being? Let's see what his reaction to this whole Charlie Kirk thing was.
This guy, he said Charlie Kirk was shot. That's crazy. If that was the case, there'd be fucking video footage of it, I'm pretty sure. It's Utah. It's not that backwards, okay? There's other accounts. None of them are journalists saying Charlie Kirk got shot. Find me a video of the incident. Oh, you found the video? Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm going to look at the video right now.
Watch his reaction. I hate this dude. Like, every fiber of my being hates this dude. I think he's performative. I think he's absolutely a schlep. I think that he indoctrinates people towards terrorism. I think this dude is a walking sleeper cell, but this dude's reaction is not nearly as severe as the people who are celebrating this shit. Watch this.
I told you there's got to be a fucking video.
Yeah.
Dude, you hear a shot, you hear the crack of a shot, and then you hear head just crack back. There's a worse clip on Twitter from the front row. Send that to me as well. There is a close-up. There is a closer footage of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck here as well, where you can oh, he's dead. Oh my God, he's definitely dead. Oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my God.
I respect that he didn't play it on stream. I respect that he's taking some moments to process this, and that he doesn't jump to any sort of celebratory fuck shit nonsense like most of these people are doing.
Oh my God. Oh, he definitely got shot in the neck. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. Oh yeah. No, that footage, that you do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. That footage, the close-up footage shows very clearly immediately blood pouring out of his jugular. That was fucking devastating. Holy shit. I don't know what to say. Holy fuck. America is so absolutely fucked.
How bad of a person do you have to be?
That's one thing that he said that I agree with, bro. We're fucked. America is fucked, bro. You can't even, like, come on, bro. Listen, I live my life, bro. I'm not gonna live nowhere on this planet and be moving like I'm scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown ass man, but at the same time, you know, it's like, damn, bro. You now you gotta, you know, especially when you with the family, you know, being out at Walmart, fucking ShopRite. You know what I mean? Like, worrying about if some fucking nut MK Ultra retard come in here with a fucking rifle trying to fucking snipe motherfuckers because he wants his wiener chopped off. Like, the fuck, bro? Yo, bro. This shit's getting out of control, bro.
That fucking rusty ass clown
one,
actually looks like a good person compared to you. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I am not about cancel culture in any way, shape, or form. I'm not endorsing cancel culture. I'm not out here reporting people. I have tons of videos of people saying that type of disgusting rhetoric, celebrating, dancing on the man's grave, disrespecting not just him, but his family. I'm not out there reporting anybody. But God damn it, y'all, I'm going to laugh when I see the consequences of their actions come back and hit them in the ass with absolutely zero lube. This is Charlie Rock, and he worked for the Carolina Panthers. Until today, he literally interned to get the job that he had in public relations until he made the post that he made about Charlie Kirk catching it in the net. A Marine officer was fired from recruiting duty over his post about Charlie Kirk on social media. I'm not going to reveal his name or his picture. Out of respect for his service, I don't feel qualified to do that level of a call out, having never served myself. But you know who was qualified to call him out? Pete fucking Hegseth, dog. And he made sure that that dude does not have a job with the United States Marine Corps anymore. And this right here might be one of the most high-profile firings that we've had of the over 200 that we have seen so far. Check this out from MSNBC.
We've got new fallout. MSNBC now firing a political analyst, Matthew Dowd, over comments that he made during the network's coverage of this tragedy.
Following up on what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of...
Y'all get the point. Motherfuckers got fired. Fuck them. Fuck them. Who gives a fuck? Fuck them. Piece of shit. Yo, these people, nah, it's crazy though, bro. It's out of control, man. It's out of control, bro. You know, dude, believe what you want to believe in, you know, whatever that may be, bro. But to be out here trying to plan people's fucking, like, just one people hurt is wild, bro. It's just wild, man. It's wild, wild work. But what do you expect, you know? I don't expect nothing different, bro. When you got the media every single day for literally almost 10 years, if not 10 years, calling Trump a Nazi, white supremacists, you got all of these black people also, because they use them too. And it's funny, bro. I told you this, I said this plenty of times, right, on the show. What they do best is project. They project the very thing that they are onto Republicans, MAGA supporters, anybody that doesn't support them. You know, that's the biggest thing that they do, projection. If they're seeing anything, more than likely it's what they do. More than likely. You know? Like, it's just a fact, bro. It's not even, listen, bro, all of this stuff is out there. You know? They just are snakes, bro. Big political snakes. It's just what it is, bro. And they put out all of this negative shit. And they literally got people out here. Like, bro, they got videos of, you know, political figures. Literally, like calling for violence. You got analysts on media stations calling for violence against anybody who supported Donald Trump. So what do you expect from the uneducated nut bags of people that are out here in America who really believe the things that these people say? You know, they don't do no fact checking. They don't, because if they did, they wouldn't be Democrats. And this is why a lot of people, and I'm going to find it too because I want to play it, man. It's a lot of people that are basically saying fuck the Democratic Party. A lot of people. I'm going to find it. I'm going to play it. But until then, let's get into this next video. What? Melanie King, man.
Entire, media ecosystems which profit from outrage and which pump out outrage and try, and that is part of the algorithm. You have influencers on all sides of the aisle, but we've heard, very well-known ones on the right. Even one commentator on Fox News talking about war. When you hear that word being used, war, what do you say?
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Inscriptions on a fired casing read.
Hold on, you see what I'm saying? You see that? We got to be willing to do anything. And it's words like that. People don't understand how, and you got people like Nancy Pelosi that say, well, I can't control what people do. Bro, these people support y'all. These people listen to what you guys say, and they think that what you're saying is facts. I argue with people, literally, where we're like arguing. It went from a debate to an argument because people are so passionate about how they feel about shit. You know what I'm saying? On both sides. But these people are, and you've seen it time and time again. You've seen it time and time again where these people act nutty, bro, and crazy. Like, and they say shit like that.
Bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this question mark? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point. Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow.
What was written on those bullet casings tells you everything that you need to know. Words matter. Words have consequences. They shape reality. They create cause and effect. And here's the most terrifying part. These young people, because I still think more people were involved, those who carried out this assassination, who committed these acts of violence, they were brainwashed into believing lies. They have been manipulated into thinking that conservatives are fascists and enemies of the country. We've all seen it. We've all seen this rhetoric. That's the poison that they've been fed. And now we're seeing the lethal results in real time. But the Trump administration has they've had enough. They're saying no more. They're making it crystal clear. Radical left groups, especially these billionaire-funded NGOs, are finally on notice. These aren't just activist organizations, guys. No, never believe that. These groups are openly calling for dismantling our financial institutions, destroying capitalism, and erasing Western civilization as we know it. But President Trump, in his Oval Office address, right after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he vowed to crack down. And then the next morning on Fox and Friends, he absolutely did not mince words. RICO charges are on the table. The death penalty is on the table. He made it clear these groups aren't just funding protests. No, they are bankrolling terrorism, chaos, organized chaos. They are bankrolling assassinations.
That's a fact.
I had one the other night. I went into a restaurant and this woman stood up. I looked at her immediately. She had money. She wasn't serious. They get paid for it. They're professional from Soros and other people. And we're going to look into Soros because I think it's a RICO case against him and other people. Because this is more than like protests. This is real agitation. This is riots on the street. And we're going to look into that.
What do we do about our country with that? Because we have radicals.
This isn't just some throwaway comment, folks. No, the crackdown is real and it's already underway. I think what Charlie's assassination did was light a fuse under an effort that had been building for weeks at this point. Suddenly, I think the urgency is undeniable. Nearly 24 Republicans in Congress are now demanding a special select committee to investigate the money and influence and power behind the radical left's war on America and their war on the rule of law at this point. That's not my phrasing. That's Congressman Chip Roy's.
Some people might be going to jail. They deserve it, bro. I'm be honest, bro. I hope he does, man. Because, to be honest, bro, Trump been kind of soft. The first time, he was real soft on, going after these people, even though he knew they was crooked. He said it about Hillary Clinton. He knew she was crooked. He had the information to go after her, but he said, look, man, he didn't want that image for America, for him going after, the president of the United States, former president's wife, And you gotta respect that about his character. But at this point, man, the gloves is off, bro. The gloves is off, man. They doing too much. You had all of the protests across the nation, all of these people like Soros, all of these NGOs that are funding these protests and different events that's going on. And it's and you see the difference. And you just don't see, bro. Honestly, bro, you really don't see and this is why the only thing they have to bring up is January 6th, where literally nobody died, but somebody on that was protesting. It's just the only thing they could bring up. But meanwhile, you could bring up Minnesota. You could bring up with the whole George Floyd thing, where they was wilding all across the nation, burning down shit, looting in stores. Recently, they did the same thing. They did the same thing recently. These people are the cause of a lot of destruction, bro, in America. And more importantly, they are the reason for all of these, different ideologies that's out. People just believing in just think, bro, most of the things that are going on, most of the conversations that are going on, nobody ever even thought about even talking about because they were irrelevant. We're irrelevant, like what? Like you wouldn't even, bro, what a woman is. Like what? A woman is a human who has a vagina. Simple. It's over. End of discussion. A man is a motherfucker with a penis. Simple. Like we don't even they're debating about these things now. That's the point where we have come to in America. And you got to say why. The why always has to come because why is this happening? Why is something that is so simple just, like, why are we even discussing it, having a conversation about it? Because it's called divide and conquer, division. They want to sell people division. You think that these people at the top care about this shit? No, they don't.
And then last night, Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff, one of the most influential voices in the White House, flat out said it. These NGOs are funding domestic terrorism. Those were his words. But I have to say personally, I'd go further. What we're witnessing is civil terror. And that's not some casual accusation. It's a warning shot to the American people. The threat is here. And it's not only here, it is funded and coordinated and also deliberate.
There is a domestic terrorism movement in this country. When you see these organized doxing campaigns where the left calls people enemies of the republic, calls them fascists, says they're Nazis, says they're evil, says they have to be removed, and then prints their addresses, what do you think they're trying to do?
Facts.
They are trying to inspire someone to murder them. That is their objective. That is their intent. And when you see online, Sean, as we've seen for the last few days, tape after tape after tape of federal workers, bureaucrats, staffers in the Pentagon, educators, professors, healthcare workers, nurses, celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. These are radicalized people. There is a domestic terrorism movement in this country. And let me tell you something I've not shared with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom.
All right, y'all, quick pause, because if you're watching this, you're exactly the kind of person who's going to love what I've got in my store. We're talking Taste Like Liberal Tears mugs, We the People tees, sexy, rewriting. These groups have been preparing for the crackdown for weeks, quietly rewriting their charters to dodge legal accountability. Is that not wild? Trump actually previewed this fight a while back on Truth Social. He directly called out George Soros and his son Alex, saying that they both need to face RICO charges for funding their violent protests. Then almost on cue, something remarkable happened. The Gates Foundation abruptly severed ties with Arabella Advisors, one of the crown jewels of the NGO machine, a group infamous for funneling dark money into radical causes. You don't cut ties like that unless you see the storm clouds gathering. This wasn't random. It was strategic. It was survival.
Depending on the year or the season, Arabella is funding the election stuff. It's funding all of the climate alarmism stuff and any other sort of radical left policy you can imagine.
Who that?
So why is...
Oh, is that Bill? Is that Bill Gates? Is that the guy I made a shirt about? The guy who said that with vaccines and reproductive health, that, you know, the population could be less and lowered? Huh? Is that guy?
Is Bill Gates distancing himself?
He's a Democrat.
There are certainly many priorities, especially the climate change stuff that he cares about. And this would appear that he's trying to cozy up to the Trump administration. As you said, it's become too toxic. The association with Arabella has become too toxic even with him. And it's notable that he just met with Trump the other day. So he's trying to remain in the Trump administration's good graces. Whether this is just for optics and he's distancing himself but actually still supports them, or he's actually had a change of heart, I think it's more the former. But nonetheless, it's a massive blow. And then I'll tell you another, George Soros is one of the other major funders. Arabella has, I don't know, 5 huge funders. A lot of people give money, but Bill Gates certainly among the top, George Soros among the top. I don't know if it's a coincidence that Donald Trump is calling for RICO investigations into the Soros at the same time that Bill Gates is distancing himself from the Arabella network. This is putting cracks and fissures in the left-wing dark money machine.
Now let's talk money, because that's what fuels all of this fire. These riots aren't organic, spontaneous uprisings. They're funded. They're orchestrated. These Antifa so-called direct action groups. None of this just happens, right? From firebombing Tesla dealerships to organized mobs outside of Justice Kavanaugh's home. This is targeted political violence designed to intimidate and coerce. And all you got to do is follow the money trail, and you're going to find the same names. Soros Open Society Foundation, the Pritzker Network, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Tides Foundation. Billions upon billions funneled through these tax-exempt 501c4s, dark money outfits. And they're all structured the same way. Permanent protest, permanent chaos. They bankroll lawsuits to drain small towns, fund radical DAs who refuse to prosecute crime, and then prop up immigration reform, that actually opens the floodgates to the border, and then bankroll politicians like AOC and Ilhan Omar. This isn't politics as usual. It's a decades-long project to remake America. And now with Charlie Kirk's assassination as the bloody wake-up call, well, Trump is finally moving to bring RICO charges. That could actually tear down the entire shadow network. At least I hope. Bill Gates' sudden retreat from Arabella? That might just be the first domino to fall. But in other news,
a few moments later.
Now let's get back to the assassin, Tyler Robinson. The media and Democrats spent literally all yesterday trying to convince Americans that there was no theme behind what was carved into his bullet casings. Really? One casing literally said, "Hey fascists, catch this bullet." Another had the words "Bella Ciao," an Antifa rallying cry lifted straight from a communist folk song. That motive couldn't be clearer if it were stamped in neon lights. And the FBI, they know it. And to add to that, guys, that Robinson's involvement in the Antifa Discord servers, the same servers that are linked to the Butler assassin who tried to kill President Trump, and the picture suddenly sharpens. A radicalized 22-year-old brainwashed by the media smear campaign, convinced that Charlie Kirk was somehow a Nazi. But here's the truth. Charlie wasn't a Nazi. He wasn't even an extremist. He was a voice for young conservatives, a moderate voice, actually. And now he's gone. The Democrats and their media allies, they all know that their rhetoric is what lit this fuse. They know their constant demonization of the MAGA conservatives as fascists and Hitler. Well, that's what created this monster. But they won't admit that blood is on their hands. And yet, what did CNN do last night? Instead of acknowledging the evidence, they tried to twist it, claiming that Robinson was actually tied to Nick Fuentes and turning left-wing terrorism into so-called right-on-right violence. It's an insult, it's gaslighting, and it's dangerous.
I have to ask you this because a lot of people are asking what this means. A lot of people are talking.
Nobody other than good old Abby Phillips. She's a fucking nutball, bro. She's the definition of, like, she doesn't represent the black culture, bro. She's a fucking moron. She's another moron. Seriously. Another chick with a fucking degree who thinks that she's fucking educated. Weirdos, bro. This is what they do, though, bro.
About this word, goiper. What does that even mean? And could this man be one of them?
Yeah. All this stuff used to be so fringe, and now it's like at the center of politics, and it's a little bit difficult for me to believe.
It is a little wild.
But Groypers are the fans of the far-right podcaster Nick Fuentes. He's been around for a very long time. He was at Charlottesville. He was at Jan 6. Fuentes has long had a feud with Charlie Kirk, or had. He would show at his events. His fans would show up at their events, and they would ask Kirk leading questions intended to trigger Kirk into moving further to the right, particularly on immigration and gay rights. So Fuentes has totally disavowed this violence. He made a very forceful statement against that last night. But people are trying to tie this shooter to the Groypers because, and this is a little obscure, he posed in a squat in an Adidas tracksuit for a Halloween costume. His mom posted that he was being a man in a meme.
Yeah,
people have seen pictures of Pepe the Frog associated with the alt-right, dressed in that same tracksuit doing the squat. However, that meme itself is a reference to Eastern Europeans posing like that in Adidas tracksuits.
There is zero, and I mean zero, evidence linking Tyler Robinson to Nick Fuentes. None. CNN is manufacturing conspiracies to distract from the truth. The reality is simple. Robinson was radicalized left-wing activist. He was active on Antifa servers. He was animated by the left's rhetoric. He pulled the trigger because he was taught to believe that Charlie Kirk was a fascist. That's not conjecture. That is fact. The more they spin, the guiltier they look. And I think the American people see it.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
You seen it, right?
We are now living in a fascist.
You see how she had to look, because listen, they all get these cue cards that say exactly what they need to say. Doesn't have to be verbatim. Sometimes it is, but you have to say these specific words because that's how you program people. Is if they hear something over and over and over and over and over and over, and everybody is saying it, you know, they're saying that, yo, if everybody's saying it, dog, got to be true. And that's the whole point. So they manipulate the people by repeating it over and over and over again to the point where people actually believed that Charlie Kirk was a fascist, white supremacist, all of these different, you know, a Nazi, different things. And then look, you got all of these people, the Joy Reids, fired, Tim Waltz, Tampon Tim, retard, AOC, bartender, Kamala Harris, whore. She fucked her way to the top. Facts. You can look into her life. They literally thought the dude, the Governor Brown dude or mayor, they thought that was her dad. But nah, she was letting him hit back when she was about in her 20s. Let's see who else. I don't even know this dude's name. Oh, I think she's a trans too. I forget her name though. The white girl right here. They gonna play her. All weirdos, bro. The bald-headed, kneecap head. Down here on the left where my picture is at. She's a fucking another black moron. Like all retards. And this is what they do. They all just say the same thing over and over and over. They call, if somebody actually took the time, it'd probably take a week to count, probably longer than that, probably like a whole year to count how many times they called Donald Trump a Nazi, a fascist. Like, the shit would probably go on forever. It's wild, bro.
Dictatorship.
And we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
Weirdos, bro. Bunch of weirdos. Shout out to Melanie King for posting that dope video. Let's get into
the potential that what we're hearing is.
So we're going to get into this video right here.
the potential that what we're hearing is fake to convince us that it is fake before we know that it's fake.
All right, so let's take this down. So I'm about to play this other video, but let me see something real quick. Before I do that, right, I wanted to play something because this situation has made people feel like this. This is how people. This is literally people on the left that's Democrat who are witnessing all of the goofy shit that's going on. Hold on real quick. Where's that joint at? All right. All right. All right, so yeah, let me take this down over here. Even eat this up. So yeah, let's play this. This right here is the meaning of what I said in the thumbnail. And it's to the point where not only are they literally making themselves look crazy, everybody knows that, just like all the videos that were just played at the end of that last clip, this is the result. What happened to Charlie Kirk and all of the goofy shit that, these people are putting out, it's all a result of the Democratic Party. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is the consequences to their actions.
I'm done. I am not going to vote Democrat anymore. I did leave the left because I was getting sick and tired of their behavior. But I was considering myself to be in the center. No. Whoever did this just fucked up. And I'm seeing a lot of people who were on the left say that they're no longer going to be on the left anymore. I still have my same beliefs. I still support the communities that I support. And I will still vote for people who align with those beliefs. But it's not going to be a Democrat. I'm done. You guys are disgusting. The shit that you're saying is fucking horrible. You should be extremely ashamed of yourself. You're supposed to be the party of empathy. Where the fuck is the empathy? I'm done. And as always, you guys, to my followers, have a great day. To the people who are saying this horrible, awful shit, have the day you deserve. Bye.
So as you can see on the screen right here, it says, I will never vote Democrat again. There are millions of people on social media coming out and saying out loud that they will not vote for Democrats after this insane reaction to the murder of Charlie Kirk. Now, there's so much that I got to show you here. But first, I want to start off by, again, saying that it's still pretty unbelievable where we're at as a country and what happened. The photo, the images, I truly cannot get it out of my head. And I feel like I'm mourning somebody I never even knew or met. But again, maybe some of you guys can relate to that. I'm not sure. But let's get it started here. Before I show you all the Democrats coming together to walk away, right, because of the nasty things and the wild things that they've said about Charlie Kirk while they celebrate his murder, I want to show you something that's even more incredible to me. The last person, the last guy who debated Charlie Kirk, he spoke about the fact of how ironic that the topic was. Do you guys know that this guy was the last guy to speak to him? And you want to know what he was trying his best to, the point that he wanted to make was that the left wasn't violent. Take a listen to this.
And people have obviously pointed to the irony that the point that I was trying to make is how peaceful the left was.
Yeah, right.
Right before he got shot. And that only makes sense if we stay peaceful. And as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I'm on the record for how much I disagree with Charlie Kirk. But like, when he said it, man, dude, he is still a human being. Have we forgotten that? Are we crazy? Like,
so okay. So there you have it. He says the irony behind the fact that he was trying his best to show Charlie Kirk there in his final moment.
So this guy was actually the guy who was talking to Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk was shot. So he was right there. They got a video of him, and like you know, obviously that joint was crazy. But anyway, this dude is even saying like, but yo, what do you expect, bro? He said that he thought that the Democratic Party was peaceful. Bro, where was he at? Has he been to these rallies? Did he see all the Minnesota burning down? Did he see all the people robbing the Walmarts and all that? Like, did he see it? Like, where the fuck was he at?
That the left wasn't even violent. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
But this same guy, he has a big social media following, right? So he goes on record, and then he says he's starting to think that he feels like he's one of the last few people on the left that cares about family, that cares about a lot of things. This is the same guy, the last guy to speak to Charlie Kirk. Watch what he says here, Kirk. Watch what he says here now.
It does sometimes feel like I am one of the few, definitely not the only, but certainly maybe a minority of the left that really cares still about life or family or America. I don't know. My name is Hunter. I was in the middle of debating Charlie Kirk in the middle of the assassination at Utah Valley University.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Count.
I mostly came in there because Charlie's very open about having some sort of dialogue or some sort of conversation that, you know, he believes in engaging. And I'm pretty on the record of how much I disagree with him, but I do definitely respect how much he's willing to platform voices to ensure that, you know, at least some semblance of a good conversation can come out of it. Conversation isn't everything, right? There's a lot more that comes to politics than just conversation. But like, Charlie was certainly onto something there that like conversation does fuel quite a bit of, fuels something that I think we've, I don't know, maybe discarded.
Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you about our sponsor.
Yeah, but shout out to LV, man. I just wanted to play that real quick because this has been basically was, you know, what's going on with these people, bro. A lot of them are saying like, nah, I'm done with the Democratic Party, and they moving on, bro, as they should, bro. As they should, bro. It's not the same. The Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy is gone. It's been gone. It was gone after he got clipped. You know? After he got clipped, it was gone. You know? And that should have been a wake-up call for Democrats. And say, like, damn, you know, they killed their own people. When you willing to kill your own people, you know, for the sake of corruption, for the sake of, you know, war and all of this stuff that's going on and that's been going on for literally decades, you know, then, you know, man, listen, bro, I love living in America, but listen, man, humans are out of fucking control, bro, around the world, including here in America, bro. And that goes for the rich, for the poor, we some fucking ill people, man. Seriously. But let's get into this last video that I want to show. This one is a little interesting.
The potential that what we're hearing is fake to convince us that it is fake before we know that it's fake. In other words, wait for the facts. That Charlie was what is.
You know what? Hold on real quick. My bad. You know what? You know what? So.
Often referred to by Chuck Schumer as a deer rifle.
Tucker Carlson leaked the whole secret behind the Charlie Kirk shooting, exposing hidden details that authorities never wanted the public to hear.
What do you think about the actual who was potentially behind it? Do we believe this business about the New York Times is trying to cast doubt on what was on those cartridges and whether those messages were really there? Not saying it didn't happen, but suggesting like, be careful because it may not be true. And even if it is true, it could be a situation where there's much more to it than what was on those bullets. Do you have any thoughts? Not knowing what the truth is, any thoughts at this hour?
Well, of course, I have so many thoughts, but I got a call about an hour ago from one of the very few people I trust in Washington and really love, and like a true friend, who said, I bet, like everybody, you're tempted to go to dark places or focus on, the violence here or what was clearly a well-planned, and you should just take a break from that. And this is someone who I agree with on everything. It's not, this wasn't trying to control me, but just like out of concern for, me as a person, like you should focus on Charlie and who he was and, proceed with wisdom and restraint. And so that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, of course, you can imagine all kinds of things, and I don't think anything is necessarily implausible. I do think that we should always, and I try to live by this, be skeptical of everything that we're presented as a pat explanation for anything.
There's been an awful lot of deception in this world, but we shouldn't let the fear of fakery paralyze us. We still have to chase the facts, demand receipts, and hold the powerful to account.
I mean, of course, there's an awful lot of deception in this world, but we shouldn't allow the potential that what we're hearing is fake to convince us that it is fake before we know that it's fake. In other words, wait for the facts. But I mean, of course, it goes without saying that I would never, after 35 years of doing this, ever accept the first explanation from anyone. And I mean literally from anyone. So, so we'll find out. But clearly, the way that it was done with maximum violence with the 30-06, not a 223, by the way.
I don't know guns. What does that mean?
Okay, so the 223, the 5.56, the AR-15 round, the little 22 caliber high pressure round that is, thought to be the most dangerous in the world and weapon and all this stuff, you're constantly hearing about it, is in fact designed basically to wound under most circumstances.
The gun that murdered Charlie was what Chuck Schumer often dismisses as a deer rifle, but in the wrong hands, it became a weapon of precision and death.
That Charlie was what is often referred to by Chuck Schumer as a deer rifle. But of course, it's a much larger round. It is in fact an old-fashioned military round. It's 30-06, 30 caliber, big round. And that, people who understand, I mean, I guess all I'm saying without getting like sidetracked is, whoever contemplated this and pulled it off and committed the, had thought about it and was clearly, I'm not saying it was, I don't know who it was, but it wasn't clearly not some random guy who got mad yesterday morning and decided to do it. Obviously.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There was great forethought in this. So that's all we know of it. Again, I think, my life certainly over the last 10 years proves that I'm not an acceptor of the official story just because it's the official story. By the way, the official story can be right. Just because it's the official story doesn't mean it's a lie. But I think
there can also be more to the official story.
To our own, well, that's true. And part of the problem with living to 56 is you've seen so much, and I grew up around a lot of this stuff already, that you can just get lost in it, completely lost in it, because a lot of things over time that are, the truth about some things. You don't know the truth. I don't know the truth about everything. That's for sure. There are many more things I'm ignorant on that I'm knowledgeable about. However, I've seen enough and been into enough dinners where people are like, well, da-da-da-da-da, and you're thinking to yourself, you have no idea what actually happened. And you can get into a kind of mindset.
Not for nothing, but on that front, Tucker's got a documentary out today on tuckercarlson.com on 9/11 and some hard truths we weren't told. And of course, you're going to be called a conspiracy theorist, as people love to say. But I will say, just this week, Catherine Herridge, who nobody's ever accused of being a conspiracy theorist, has matched some of your reporting, and she's reporting it on X. So people should check it out. Obviously, he's not.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we know.
Example.
Well, look, I don't know. There are a million things I don't know, including what was really going on 9/11. All we proved was that the official story was like completely ridiculously false. It doesn't mean that I have a pat explanation for it, and probably never will, and for a million other things. But I guess what I'm saying is, I think that's super important. We need to get to the bottom of it, and to a lot of other things, including the at Butler, which for some reason, still know nothing about.
Tucker asserts that you can't have a country where someone is assassinated and the truth is buried. If we never get to the bottom of it, the system itself is broken.
And you can't have a country where someone can try to the president and then we never get to the bottom of it. Like, it can't continue like that. So we need radical transparency, just what I've been saying for years. But I do think we also need to be mindful that we are in a form of civil war right now. That's obvious. Violence is a huge component of it. You don't want it to become a bigger component of it. And what's the answer to that? And I've just been around a couple, and like, I don't want that. And I certainly don't want it here. There are really no winners, and its effects last for generations, centuries, really. And so what is the answer? And the answer is to see one another as God sees us. It doesn't mean to excuse inexcusable behavior. It doesn't mean moral relativism. It means exactly the opposite of moral relativism. It means recognizing that we are created by a creator, all of us, no matter what our views or our appearance, all of us, and proceed with that in mind always. It doesn't mean excusing, or anything else, or pretending that transgenderism is like not evil. It's evil, but it means remembering always that these are human beings, okay? And I just know from my experience online I don't go online all that much, but oh my gosh, I'm like, how did this young, sort of pretty yoga instructor from West Hollywood become genocidal and become totally indifferent to the murder of my friend? Like, how could this even be? But it's, a lot of people have become that way, and
oh yeah,
that's a fact, man. Moral of the story is that be careful with a lot of the information that you're receiving, because there was another video I wanted to play, but I'll play it tomorrow, because it's been it was a I think he's an ex-Marine or something. I think he's military for sure, though. Special Forces, I believe. And so basically he did a video on basically breaking down the footage that they had, basically saying that I played this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because it's basically all the same as far as the the conversation is on basically how everything ain't always what it seems. The stories that are being put out, you're getting fed all of this information, from the left, from YouTube, from a lot of different places. You're getting a lot of information, and these stories sometimes get swept. This one isn't. This is not. But he's right about and that's because Donald Trump didn't die, to be honest. And but who knows how? I mean, this probably would have been the same outcome. But yeah, you don't hear nothing about that Butler situation. You don't hear nothing about it, like, whatsoever. And maybe it's because it's already a lot going on with the economy, with immigration, ICE, going into Trump trying to bring down crime and bring the National Guard into all of these different cities. It's a lot going on. So, but this situation right here, man, it's got everybody talking about it, bro. It's about everybody talking about it. You got people, Trump talking about going after all of these, like George Soros type people who got the money to fund all of these all of the violence that been going on against ICE and against, just MAGA, period. And it's getting deep, bro. Bro, it's a crazy time in America, bro. It's a crazy time, bro. And the shit that they trying to normalize is crazy, bro. It's crazy. And honestly, the best thing that happened to America, to be honest, was Donald Trump getting elected, because we were getting so close to not being able to really speak how you want to speak. And you were pretty much going to get, canceled, just basically just deleted, going against the left. You know what I'm saying? But you see the difference. When Joe Biden was in office, anybody who posted anything on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at the time, people were getting all of their posts removed. They were getting striked. They were getting taken down. People had to keep making new pages in order to keep their conversation going because they were just getting canceled all the time. Whereas though now people aren't getting canceled. People can say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. That was the reason why Elon Musk bought X. Like when my wife showed me the whole Charlie Kirk thing, she showed me it on X. So even though it was definitely something I really didn't want to see, to be honest, I saw it. And I saw it because Elon Musk bought X. And because he created a place where people can talk freely and speak their minds, whether you agree with it or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. But at the end of the day, it's all it should be. Actually going out and committing, homicides against people because they don't have the same views as you is wild, bro. It's just wild shit. But hey, man, shout out to Charlie Kirk, man. Motherfucking definitely, this shit ain't dying down. I tell you that much. This ain't no typical, just situation that happened and it's already been. What's today? I don't even know what day it is. It's the 14th. This happened 4 days ago, and people still talking about it. And I'm talking about you can't even put nothing in the search bar without Charlie Kirk name popping up. So this is definitely big, man. But it's a lot of stuff coming out of it, man. But I want to play that Special Forces video tomorrow. I want to play that because he was kind of breaking it down, just saying that basically, he was trying to prove that people are being lied to, even from the FBI, saying, the information that we're getting. And that was the reason why I played this little clip. But I want to keep the video too long because I got something to do. Gotta go chill with the wife. So I'm about to end it. But I played that video because just kind of give you just a little bit of, just don't believe every single thing. We get information, but be skeptical because you don't know what, the real truth is sometimes, man, to be honest. But definitely gonna be watching close. And that video was before we actually found out who the guy was and all of that too. So now tomorrow I want to play some information on videos that people have gotten, and this guy who is, I believe, Special Forces, breaks down how he believes that this guy, like the weapon that they found wasn't the weapon. I believe that's what he was saying, or when he had a different, or saying that he had a different weapon, because when he hopped off the roof and he was seen on the doorbell camera, there was evidence to show that he didn't have that long rifle on him. So we'll see, man. I'll play that video tomorrow, man. But yeah, man, today was a good one, man. Shout out to all the people that got fired, man, for being a nut. And you deserve it. To be honest with you, I wish no ill will on you. Hopefully you can get another job, man. But more importantly, more than everything, I hope you learn something from this, because at the end of the day, you lost your job, you lost your livelihood, all for what? Because of words, stupid words. So, hey, and you can't say, oh, cancel culture, oh, me too, and all of this dumb shit. Listen, you got fired from your job because your job doesn't, people have a business. People trying to make money, and they don't want anything negative coming towards their business, and you got to respect that. So how about you represent yourself first? Represent yourself better first, and then, think about that you know, you work for a company, you got children. These people have children, bro. Just think, like, if your mom, your dad, your family member in general made some of these videos that we've seen, bro. It's an embarrassment, bro. You embarrassing your children. You know what I'm saying? You embarrassing your children. You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest things, you know. But you embarrassing your family by, you know, looking like a fucking nutball making dumbass videos, basically, you know, cheering on, you know, violence and all of this against other people. But got to be careful too, though, man, because this type of stuff can make people do more harm. You know what I'm saying? And crashed out, like, seriously. So there's also a component to it where it's like, damn, you know, because some of these people, you don't know what they're capable of doing, you know, and they might go out and crash out, take it out on anybody who they think is a Trump supporter, all because they lost their job over something they did. But that's what it boils down to. That's all coming from what? Having a victim mentality. And that's all of what these people have, man. They feel like they have been wrong. They're broke because they don't have the will. They don't have the drive to want to go work and make money. They're uneducated because they don't want to open up a book or learn. You know what I mean? These people are fucking, you know, mentally ill because they are, you know, dealing with some type of diagnosis, you know, whether that's depression, whether that's, you know, just being antisocial, not feeling pretty, or, you know, whatever. But it's some type of mental illness that has people, you know, just out of pocket. All it boils down to, man. But yo, man, it was a couple people tapped in, man, for a while today, man, and I really appreciate it. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna be live. I gotta make, so I'm taking a little leave soon, so I'm gonna have more time to work on the podcast, and I wanna actually have a time that I go live, man, so I could be more, you know, just more consistent. I think I'm consistent with the videos, dropping them often, but I want to be more consistent with the time frames that I use, so people know, like, all right, yo, I'm tapping with me at 7. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So I'm gonna figure it out, come up with something. But yeah, man, this was a good one today, man. We're gonna have something tomorrow. This your boy SL550. This is the N.G.L.A. podcast. And until next time, your boy out, man.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.